Oh, yep, here it comes up. It's loading now. There we go. We just got to get Jay in here. Yeah, he's real stoked.
Hey,
There he is.
what's up?
Back. Dude, it's just old broadcasting shit. That's all it is. It says Matt is muted. They can't hear Matt. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys in chat still hear me? Or is it just Matt? So they can hear me. Okay. Matt, you are muted. I can still hear you. Yes. Yes to Logan, Shane says. Yes to Logan.
Am I good?
You guys
Everyone hear me?
can everybody hear Jay? Mr. Metal Dad Vapes himself. Can everybody hear Jay? Yep, just Matt. Just Matt. You are muted, Matt. No, it's just Matt's show, so of course, obviously, Matt would be the only one
You and I will just take over.
We don't
and we'll
need
run the show.
we don't need Matt.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. It's
We'll run
we're
Matt.
basically just picking the owner his own show.
You guys chat
We're
amongst
kind of
yourselves.
like Sony. We're kind of like Sony with Spider-Man right now. We're just like.
Oh, there we
we're
go.
just gonna take
Somebody said there we go. I don't know if that means you can hear me.
There we go. All right. Perfect.
Okay. So
Welcome everybody. What's going on? Now that we all have audio.
I can hear you. Okay, thank you, Ricky. Thank you. All right. I don't know what that was about. Always fun starting up the stream. Someday we'll get it, Logan. And by we, I mean me.
You know what? I truly believe that this is YouTube's way of fucking with vapors by screwing with the live stream. They just make you work a little bit extra harder. That's my theory.
We're just trying to live stream. That's all it is. Yeah. Thanks, Shane. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome to In the Clouds Live. Here we are, 8 o'clock, a little later than normal. We all needed a little time to clearly not get the live stream straightened out. We all needed a little time to get going, but we're live, and yeah. Shout out to Frames. It happens to the best of us. Yeah. God forbid I try and do like a stream starting soon or some kind of video. My encoder will just keep failing. So yeah, we have.
I was actually just talking to Matt about Frames and how you seem to have this real. There's always something weird right in the beginning, but god damn it, you're good at getting it back, man. Your recovery game is strong.
Just on point.
So we got to get on that Frames level of recovery. I think we're working towards it.
Oh, you like that shirt, Raging Vapor? I know. Represent. I gotta make sure I keep it in frame,
guys.
Logan's paying me to keep this in frame right here. Rise and Vape. I'm
absolutely.
I'm gonna have pillow placements back there. Oh, I'm gonna be getting paid big. Logan doesn't even know it yet.
Product placement. All of a sudden, I'm just gonna start getting these bills in the mail from. I'm like.
So we got a guest. And there he is, Jay. So I guess let's kick it off with our buffets. And I want to start with Jay. Logan, I know you don't like doing the buffet anyway, so.
Yeah, my buffets are small, man.
So go ahead, Jay. Tell us what you're vaping on, what you're drinking, all that good stuff.
I will give you the shortened version because I literally have 12 setups that are ready to go right now.
Yeah.
With batteries in, ready to vape.
We'll take that short version.
I just got this yesterday, the QP Juggernaut RTA from a buddy of mine. Shout out to Nate Aruda if you're watching or whatever. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's sitting on the iJoy Shogun mod. Inside that, I have a little Silence of the Clouds Blue Raspberry Slushy. I have the Wasp Nano RTA on the rudder. I got some Sad Boy Shamrock Cookie in that one.
Dang, everybody on the Sad Boy, man. I got to get on the Sad Boy train, huh?
It's so good. I have the new Valerian mod, Curve Dual on top of that. I'm sad because it's the last of my 18th Amendment from Prohibition.
Oh, how is Prohibition? They good? I haven't tried any of their lines.
Their whole line is fire. I got the Valerian 2 tank sitting on the Tesla DB 219, I think it is, or 217.
Jesus, that thing is huge.
Dude, it's a little. The box is little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The tank is immense. In that, I have Mama's Key Lime Pie. I have, as always, the Vindicator with the Kennedy 25 on top of that. In that one, I got a little Snack Shack Tangerine Dream. And then this right now is my favorite mod. I have the Topside Carbon.
Oh ho ho.
And on top of that, I have the Drop Dead with the heavy tip on there. It's a little matchy-matchy.
Yeah, I was going to say
I've been looking at those heavy tips from Half Moon.
It looks obscene and horrible, but vaping off it actually does enhance flavor, and it feels really good. You know,
it's comfortable? Because I'm somebody that actually likes a little bit extra, on the tip. I'm not a chop top guy. You gotta have a little extra to the tip for me, you know?
It is extremely comfortable.
Wow, it is early in the show, Logan.
And then pods, I have the Lost Vape Orion. I got some 6 milligram crunch time in that. And then just my basic Fix and Miley pods.
How is that Fix? I was going to get my father a Fix to try and help him get off of the sticks.
To start someone off with a Fix would be ideal.
Yeah.
To continue on, not that good. The Miley, they got some new pods and new flavors. It's really good.
Grab me a glass.
And then the beer I'm drinking is
Thank you,
a
baby.
little Stone HIPAA action going on.
Nice. Nice.
And I got that in my Jason pint glass.
Nice.
I'm done. I'll if you see me grab something else, it's just because I get bored with stuff usually. So
There you
I
go.
apologize.
I used to be that way. I used to have so many setups going at once, and I'm to the point where I kind of I've downsized. Because a lot of times I'll have stuff set up and then it just sits. It'll just sit and sit and sit, and my cotton breaks down and goes to hell, and then it's one of those things where for me at this point, less is more.
I hear you. I try and keep 3 setups going.
I mean? Like if I was actively around all my vape stuff, it would be so bad because I'd actively be vaping on it. But being gone at work, so much of the day and whatever, I just downsize because otherwise it's cool, I vaped that for one day and it's been 2 weeks now and it's trash and now I have to I just can't keep up.
Can I just, someone in chat, Ricky Mahoney? Yes, Syntax is delicious. One of my favorite juices. I didn't think I was going to like it, peanut butter custard, but Syntax is amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that one.
So you can pass it off to whoever you want, Jay, and we'll keep it going.
I want to see what Logan's vaping on.
Well, I'm gonna start with a drink. I've got a Dogfish Head 60-minute.
Oh.
Let's see if we can.
Logan, not to interrupt, but Logan and I are going classic, just straight IPAs.
Dude, Stone is so good, man. Stone is so good. Are you guys ready? Let's see if I can get a good. Oh no, that wasn't a good one.
Well, waiting for it too.
I know.
What a bummer.
I was hoping I'd get a little nice off of that, but I didn't.
Just get a bunch of bummers in the chat. Bummer.
Or right over the keyboard.
There we go.
Oh,
I say you open it. You should have just sliced into a can. That's the way to do it.
I know. Dude, that was one of his best moments on stream. Was slicing into that can.
Shane said he wants a beer from Becky. He's looking for an IPA. Bring him one.
And if you've never had Dogfish Head, Phenomenal. All right, we'll start off. I've got my Shorty X right here, with a Dead Rabbit SQ. In that, I've got some Sad Boy Butter. Big shout out to Mr. Shane Oakley for sending this my way. It's a good juice, man. It's a good liquid. It grew on me. I didn't really particularly love it at first, but the more that I've been vaping on it, I've found that I actually really do enjoy it. I've got my Davco MVV very vintage limited edition Samurai with a Goon 1.5 on top. I've been hooked on this liquid. This is Prophet's Blueberry Lemon Drops. Oh man, that's phenomenal stuff. I've just got my Caliburn. Just
Good old Caliburn.
Some 20 milligram orange cream from Solace Black. That's it. Creamsicle. Good stuff. Yeah, that's my whole buffet. Less is more. I've been trying to keep it down to like 3-4 setups at most, because otherwise I just can't keep up with stuff, and it just ends up and then I have to take an entire day to just dedicate to all my vape gear, tearing it down and rebuilding, and I just don't have the time, man. Well, Matt, you are up, man.
I'm up. All right. Well, same thing that I'm always drinking on most of the time. New England IPA. Got it in a Treehouse Brewing Company tulip glass here. Not too bad. Little room temperature. That's how I like my IPA. Arcless Mech with that Passage RDA on top. Still loving that Passage. I got a blue one as well. I got Karma Twist inside of that. Really good stuff. The banana notes are strong in that one. Of course, since we're doing a giveaway of one, I have to have my personal Dead Goat on the top side. Inside of that, we got another banana. It's not Boule Bolo. I need to get some of that Boule Bolo, some of that. Banana Land. And then lastly, of course, this thing never leaves my rotation. I have my Monarch Carnage with the Turk V2 RDA on top with that Nolly Designs Pro Series drip tip. Absolutely love that. And on the inside of that, I got some Smoothie Wonder Melon Berry Sour. So, a little fruity mess going on in there. That's all I'm vaping on. That's what I'm drinking. Loving every bit of it. So
our buffets combined still didn't add to Jay's buffet.
To Jay's, yeah.
We got to step up our game, man.
Just saw Becky like duck in the background, swooping in to attack you.
I'm ruining. Oh, okay.
Stop ruining it, Logan.
She's
Come
not
on.
there. I didn't ruin anything. Okay, just forget I said anything. I think she's. Oh, hey.
Oh.
Raging Vapor said hello. Shane said, "Tell Becky I need a beer too."
Excuse me.
And every post now, I'm
you can
gonna.
deal with that one.
In every post, I'm gonna start the hashtag "Shane's my hero."
If you said Shane's, I would
Just because Logan said it so much already. Shane's my hero. That's.
Yeah, dude. Shane really is my hero. He's an advocacy beast. I love the content that he's been doing on YouTube. The Weekend Wisdom Show was great. I like Shane. He's just somebody that knows what he's talking about. He's easily approachable. He explains everything really well. He just talks to everybody like they're just his friend. And I'm so appreciative that we have Shane around. He's just an excellent person to have in the community.
I love it. Love it.
I'll just gush about Shane some.
I love it. Frames. Shane's my hero. We need it. If there wasn't guys like Shane.
Hashtag Shane's my hero.
Shane's been going since 3 a.m. and he's here right now. So, all right, Logan. All right, we got enough about Shane. Shane, we've had enough of you.
There is never, ever enough about Shane.
I knew he was gonna say that. Look on his face. I was like, he's gonna roast me about Shane. Wow.
Never enough about Shane. I could go on about 4 days.
That sad boy butter cookie making people wild out over here, huh?
So yeah, our special guest today, obviously, Jay, Metal Dad. I met Metal Dad on Instagram a long while back, and then on Twitter as well. Got him into our Rise and Vape Discord. He's been a fantastic part of our community, and I love chatting with him. If you guys aren't following Metal Dad Vapes on YouTube, feel free to leave this really quick, hop over there, drop him a sub, do that guy a big favor because excellent reviews from this guy. But I'm going to let him kind of take the reins for just a minute, and if you don't know him, maybe he can give us a little background information on who he is, how long he's been in his channel, what he does, and things like that. So we're just going to give the floor to Jay for a little bit, and let's see what he has to say.
Well, thank you very much. First off, I don't know a lot about Shane, so I can't really add to the Shane love gush fest over here.
It's okay. You don't even have to know about Shane.
I love
I
it.
know
Just
about
watch
him, I just,
him.
you know what I mean? To
We got Metal Dad on, and we're gushing about Shane. Forget about our guest. Shane is our hero.
I'm
let's let
liking
Shane
him,
do it.
but I just don't love him yet. And also, so yeah, I am a vapor, obviously. I smoked for 20, 24, 25 years. When I quit, I was smoking 2 packs of Newports a day.
Newport. It's rough.
Oh yeah. Well, I was driving trucks at the time, so
Okay.
you know, you get up at 4:30 in the morning and don't get home until 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's easy to go through
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
packs.
I can imagine. Absolutely. I was
And,
never a 2-pack a day guy unless I was drinking. If I was drinking, 2 packs easy.
Well, the thing would be, I don't, you know, it wasn't. You get in the truck, you light one up, you go to the next stop, and whether it's halfway gone or full, you just kind of chuck it out the window, go do your things. What's up, Paul? My buddy Paul is in chat. Hey. Yeah. So I had been wanting to quit. In 2015, I went to the vape shop. I got a Kanger Subox 50 watt. Still have it, but it didn't stick. You know what I mean? And I kept telling my son. My son right now is 13. So at the time, I think he might have been like 9 or 10. And he would be like, "Dad, you know, when are you gonna quit smoking?" I'm like, "I'm gonna. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit." I put him off for a few years, and then one day he came to me and it was like in tears. I'm like, "Dude, what is the problem? What is going on? You all right?" He's like, "We had an assembly and they told us that if you keep smoking, you're gonna get cancer and die." And like he was like distraught. So I was like, "All right, now is the time." That was March of last year. Went to the vape shop, actually the same vape shop that I'm working in right now. Not at the moment, but in life. Went to the vape shop. Was like, I need to stop. What can you do for me? They gave me a smoke mag 225 watt kit. I bought the 2 batteries, bought the bottle of juice, and I was like, you know what, I'm determined to make this work. So about a month and a half after that, I was cigarette free.
Wow.
And then what got me over that hump was YouTube. I went on YouTube, I searched, smoke mag, and all these videos came up. I started watching indoor smokers. I started watching Mike Vapes. I hate to admit it, but a little bit of Rip Trippers.
I think everybody in the beginning watches Rip, just because Rip, with his what is he at now, like 1.5 million subs or whatever. He's typically the first 2 people that I always see come up on is Rip and then Grim Green. And it's usually those 2 are right at the top. So I think everybody when they first get on YouTube inevitably ends up watching Rip Tripper videos.
It's funny that you say like in the beginning, because like same thing here. I watched him in the beginning and then I just kind of like strayed away. I mean,
well, all of his videos are essentially the same. He doesn't do live streams either. They're very, he has a way that he does his videos. And after a while, you're just kind of like, okay, rip. You know, like after I've heard "truck full of dildos" 4,000 times, I was like, all right, rip.
All right.
Thanks for the video, man. I appreciate it. I'm just moving.
And I think once you get involved and you start like getting new products and doing whatever, and you watch him, you're like, dude, everything can't be that great. Like, why?
Right.
Yeah. You know, how are you doing this?
Yeah, and most of his stuff is very like Chinese product oriented. You know, it's never really anything else. It's like smoke, bandy vape, you know, stuff like that. Like
he's an infomercial.
Right. And not to knock on Rip, because the man has worked very hard to get to where he is.
Yeah. Respect on that.
You know,
for
he's
sure.
been doing it for a very long time. He's taken a lot of shit over the years, you know, with his dry knuckles and everything else like that along the way.
Dry knuckles.
But I mean, in all honesty, the man does put a lot of work into his channel and what he does and his brand and everything else. So whether or not I watch Rip, I still do respect him. And I think his game is just as strong as ever.
Sorry to go off on such a tangent here. Sorry to interrupt you, Metal Dad. But me and Shane have this thing that we were talking about beards and vapors. And I was wondering, what IPA do you guys think I could, you know, slap on my face and get a little beard going? I need a beard, man. I got to do something. You guys, you know, just
an IPA?
Dark. Yeah, like a nice dark. I think if I slap a nice dark IPA,
before I ever. You just lather it on.
What is it? Texas Cloud Town and Frames. You know, they got the porn star mustache going on. I mean, I have a pedophile mustache I could let grow out, but
no.
no.
Don't do that. See, Frames has like the greatest porn stash I have ever.
Seen. I messed it up. I said porn star mustache.
Like
I should have said the porn stash
of the perfect like $1 million 1970s. Stash.
Drink a Dark Lord, bro. Drink a Dark Lord. I'll have to get on that Dark Lord.
No.
When did you see Stash of Porn?
No, I've never seen Frames' stash of porn, but I have seen his porn stash.
All right, so
the upper lip accessory that he rocks.
You can get back into what you were saying, Metal Dad. I think you were saying like you started out watching guys like Rip Trippers and Mike Vapes and.
Yeah. I mean, I just got caught in the whole, you know, YouTube rabbit hole and. Started buying, you know, stuff all the time.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I was actually, so my buddy Paul that's in chat, I don't know if he's still watching, but him and I was on camera, but we used to do a YouTube show about like horror movies and all that stuff. And then it turned into just like a mainstream movie, like a review type show.
Yeah.
And him and I was sitting down talking one day about, you know, the direction of that show, and he was like, I'm just getting bored of doing it. I don't want to do it anymore. He's like, why don't we do like a vape show? Like a vape, you know, vape review stuff. I was like, yeah, we could. I mean, you know, I don't know how good I would be, and, you know, I want to... That's a different story altogether. But, we were like, yeah, we have the studio space, we have the cameras, we have all of the stuff, and let's just do it. And started doing it, and here I am.
Awesome. Who out of the reviewers, I guess, that initially started watching on YouTube, who was it that really, I guess, kind of connected with you? Because for me, it's always been Nick. Grim Green has always been kind of the guy that I really, I guess, kind of connected with on a lot of things, just his views on a lot of things, the way he does stuff. Out of all the reviewers out there, Nick just kind of clicked for me. Was there anybody that, like, I don't want to say idolized, kind of the guy that inspired you, or was there one at all?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I will say there's probably three. In the beginning, Mike Vapes, because the way he just breaks everything down for you, like the size of everything, and you know he breaks everything down, every minutia, and he does it in a way where you're not bored to tears. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? He does it where you're just like, oh wow, I want to see what this RDA does. You know, I wonder how it vapes, and he just tells you everything. In the beginning, it was definitely Mike Vapes. I know this might be a controversial one, but the next guy who still I watch his videos every day when he posts them. Jay Hayes.
Okay.
When I first started watching Jay Hayes, I hated him.
Oh yeah, you just can't. Like when I first started watching him, I was like, I gotta be in the mood for this guy, and I can't.
Yeah, I was like, this guy is a douchebag.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything he says. And then I think it was the review on the Wasp Nano RDA, and I had previously bought it already, so I was kind of like just looking just to see and whatever. And he did his review, and I watched him, and ever since then I've just been watching it. I like how he's. I don't want to. Obviously, he's real. You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say. Is like he's he's blunt. He's to the point. Like he doesn't give a fuck about what he's saying as far as like in reality of what the product is and that sort of thing.
Right, and and I like the way he does what he wants to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
You like him, you hate him, whatever. He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like he did that review on that Game Boy fucking thing.
Did he smash it at the end? I feel like that's a common thing on his channel. He doesn't even like smash shit.
He actually liked it and gave it a good review and got a ton of shit for it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
As much as I disagree with that and disagree with him doing that, putting that out there, I gotta respect him for it because he was just like, I'm gonna do it and that's it.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Jay Hayes, I've always been on the fence about Jay because I respect him. He's just him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he really. I want to say he doesn't give a shit about what people say, but then you watch some of his drama videos, and he absolutely gives a shit about what people say.
He does.
But he's gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? That's the point. Like he's not just because somebody says other. Stop him.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it offends him or he might feel when somebody says he's still gonna do a review anyway. He's still gonna make his video anyway, and he's not afraid to do that.
You know what? Love him or hate him, he's the #1 guy in YouTube reviews right now.
And I think when it comes
to the numbers, you know what I mean?
The hemo community, I think Jay is the go-to guy, just because he really does a lot of the afford to do, or simply can't get a hold of the product. Like Jay will find a way to get a hold of that product to do a review on something.
Yeah.
Going back to that Game Boy mod, I gotta give. I know everybody knows, but Zophie Vapes.
Yes. I was hoping you were gonna say that.
Mod.
I was really hoping you were gonna say that.
She blurted out, and she was like, I could review this. I could do. Not going to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been on Twitter about this Game Boy mod a bunch of times. I have mixed feelings about it because I started gaming when I was 4 years old, so I have almost 25 years of gaming experience. I had an original Game Boy.
It's a nostalgia thing, yeah. We get that.
Yeah, it's a big nostalgia thing, and I think that Game Boy mod is cool as shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the fact that it's a mass-produced Chinese product that's going to hit the market and it's going to give antis fuel for the fire is my issue with it. If that Game Boy mod was just like when, because other people have modded Game Vapes before, and if it was something like that, if it was like a dull dime where, there was somebody out there making these things and giving them to people in the community, limited, or they were handmade or something like that, where some 14-year-old with his mom's credit card isn't going to go on and buy. I think at that point, I would 100% be behind that mod. If it was somebody's handmade, like, DIY creation, I think it would be cool as shit. But the simple fact that it's just a mass-produced thing that kids can get a hold of and adds fuel to the fire, I'm not okay with it.
I agree 100%.
It's not because I don't think it's cool, because I think it's cool as shit. I just don't think that the industry is ready for that. I don't think that it's appropriate for where we're at in the industry.
And speaking about these like Chinese companies that kind of, I don't really know another way to say this, but some of them, they just don't give a fuck. Logan and myself, we've seen some stuff on Instagram. Well, I forget what it was, but it was like a minion throwing a snowball at like some sort of a mod, and I tagged Logan and I tagged Matt from SMM, and I said like, what do you guys think of this? And Matt messaged, it was Hell Vape. It was a Hell Vape product, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I don't know if you remember, Logan, but
I don't remember.
and he messaged them, and they took the post down. So like we've all seen.
I got on place Chalk Dust. They had posted a
That's
photo
right.
of that Game Boy mod, and I
Yeah.
really respect Charlie's. I'm a big fan of their Mama line. I'm a big fan of Charlie's line as a whole, and their Instagram feed is always like really just mature. You know, I don't know, mature is not the right word, but classy photos, like really nice, well done stuff. And then there's this Game Boy mod, and I was like, you know, guys, was it appropriate? And they ended up actually reaching back out and taking it down, and they were, you know, hey, thanks for, you know, kind of calling us out and respecting the industry and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool and added another level of respect for Charlie's, for me, anyways.
The one thing about that mod in specifically is when people online are like, oh, you know, kids nowadays have no idea what that is. I'll tell you firsthand, I have a 13-year-old that knows exactly what that is.
Yeah. They think kids are dumb.
He has GameCube. He has all of the retro stuff. When that Nintendo Classic came out, we have that. Like, he knows exactly what it is. But my issue with that mod is it's not about being kid appealing, because, you know, and he even said, he's like, oh, that's pretty stupid. And I was like, yeah, it is. It's not about being kid appealing. It's about, well, Logan, what you were saying before about the anti-groups and a clueless legislator during a flavor ban will hold that mod up and say, see, this is what their audience is. They're targeting kids with video game batteries to vape with.
And that's literally all it takes. That's all it takes right there.
And you know, I'm going
That's
on 30 years old, and it's like, I would love that game. I think that would be cool as shit. I would love to sit there. One, I mean, two, you got to remember, like, the battery life on this thing has got to be trash. To be able to sit there and take a vape off this thing and then play a little game or something like that would be cool as shit. Like, I would love to have it, but I'm not going to go buy it because I'm not going to support that product. I just don't think at this point in the industry where we're at legislatively and the fires that we're trying to put out all the time, I don't think that it's appropriate. And going back to Matt talking about these Chinese companies that don't care, they don't. And that's the bottom line. I mean, look around your house right now in China. China makes everything.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of these companies in China are fly-by-night. They, you know, it's the electronics manufacturing. They come in, they open the doors to a factory, they pump out a bunch of stuff, they close the doors and they walk away. They make their money and they leave and they go do something else. And the way that we are set up in America with importing, exporting, and everything in between, there's really not much that we can even do. You know what I mean? Like, these products come from China, they're going to come from China, and China doesn't care, and we can go, oh, no, we don't want, like, China doesn't care. They don't care. That's the bottom line. They're here to make money. They're going to ship out whatever the hell they want. It's up to us in our free market here in America to say no by simply not buying it. The only way that we say no to China is by not buying it. The more people that buy that kind of, this made money, let's make more. That's the bottom line. That's all it comes down to. So as a consumer, you are responsible for them. You dictate what our market does. They're going to put out everything under the sun.
Oh, yeah.
We have the power to say no to it by not buying it. And there are, Jay, Texas, Cloudtown, there are a lot of companies for the PMTA, and you can thank the FDA and everything that they've done with that process for it, because even companies with a lot of money there's still final things that aren't released yet for the PMTA that the FDA has not released. They keep changing everything. I mean, the PMTA process itself has been changed 3 times. I don't blame any company out there right now for filing yet, because they could file, and then tomorrow the FDA could change the final guidance again, and they've already now spent all this money on something they may not have had to spend. A lot of companies, even with Lambo money, are waiting until basically the deadline to submit, so that way they don't have time to change something on them in between.
I mean, the FDA put out guidance, and then, what was it, a week or a couple of days later, changed some parts of it? It's like, and with that lawsuit going on with the ETA, it's like,
Yeah, I don't blame them. They're not. The FDA is untrustworthy PMTA process already, so I don't blame any companies that haven't filed yet, because you could drop all this money on doing things 2 weeks from now, you might not even have.
Right.
So a lot of companies are waiting. Even, there's plenty of companies out right now. Look at what Dripmore, Candy King, and all that. You think that they couldn't file a PMTA? They can. Any day. They could do it any day. But tomorrow the FDA could change something else. They've spent $300,000 on a test that they didn't have to spend it on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what it really comes down to is the fact that the FDA is so untrustworthy with this product. No companies are doing it yet. So that's my theory. That's my hot take on it as to why I don't think a lot. Just because no one trusts what the FDA is next.
And even filing a PMTA doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get approved.
Oh yeah, like Candy King. To mention more Candy King, they're not going to get a PMTA.
No way.
Any companies that use an overabundant sweetener, I will tell you right now, if you have an over sucralose in your liquids, it's not going to pass. All your super sweet liquids that you like is not going to pass a PMTA. It's just not. It's just, we have to face those facts that if you're somebody that relies on sweetened liquid, a good chance that you're not going to have that liquid. Now, you could always end up buying your own basically sucralose additive that you could add to your own mixture or add to another company's mixture. You can. I think that's a route that some people might go. But I'm going to be real honest with you guys, and all the things, a lot of people, I listen to a lot of podcasts, I listen to a lot of people in the industry dealing with the PMTA process. Sucralose is an ingredient that probably is not going to happen. It's just probably not. So I think the companies that don't either use sucralose at all or use very, very little, because there are other flavorings and things that you can use to sweeten a liquid other than sucralose. But I think sucralose is the cheap and easy way a lot of companies go about sweetening their liquids, and I just don't think it's going to pass. I don't think it's going to fly. Sucralose in liquids, that sweetener breaks down a lot of parts of your VG and your PG, especially your nicotine, and it creates more aldehydes in your liquid. That happens. That's a real thing. And knowing that, I don't think the FDA is going to allow it.
Vapor Swaggins brings up a good point. He said, will PMTA matter if more states ban flavors?
Nope.
No. They won't.
It's not going to matter.
No. It won't. But I don't know. There's 6 lawsuits right now against the FDA, the VTA being a huge one. So
I didn't even know there was that many. I'm behind. I got to catch up on all that.
Involving a lot of different things. I think the VTA one biggest right now as far as covering the PMTA. But yeah, there are a number of other lawsuits. There's lawsuits that are still going on from 2-3 years ago with the FDA that have not been settled. I mean, a lot of these lawsuits take years to be done with. So yeah. I mean, we're just kind of in limbo right now when it comes to all that.
Seeing what's been happening over the past just few weeks, I think the FDA and PMTAs is the further, none of that matters right now, because public perception of vaping right now is just garbage.
Oh yeah, it's there's a lot of battles going on, but if you want to talk about the biggest, we're talking public perception, and then this whole PMTA and all this, that's everything else. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Public perception is in the toilet right now, and it doesn't help with all these Logan, you talked about it in your show, was it last week? The spice and the K2, or was it the week before?
2 weeks ago. I didn't have an episode last.
So it was the week before, but I know you recently talked about this too, and it goes to like what Grim Green was saying. If anybody watched his show, we're talking about it's being labeled as vaping when people are buying these illicit, illegal drugs, and it's just making the whole. It's bad. What's going on?
Yeah, and there's two parts to that whole the illicit market when it comes to these liquids. There's the K2 spice side of things, and then there's also the not even synthetic cannabinoids. It's literally just chemicals. There are companies that are putting whatever VGPG and 409, VGPG and Windex, like in these carts, and it comes a lot. Dank Vapes is getting a lot of heat right now, but Dank Vapes is just a manufacturer of empty carts. But they're buying these Dank Vape carts, and it's not THC, it's not actual. The other part too is there's also actual cannabinoids, actual THC. Excuse me, but the process, the distillate is not being done, and when that distillate process is not done correctly, because there's a number of ways. Like there's so many ways to extract THC from cannabis, right down to even using butane. Extract THC and cannabinoids.
I was just reading an article on that.
And if that butane does not fully evaporate from that liquid, from that oil, and two, on top of that, we really shouldn't be vaping oil. The oils are fat soluble. They attach to your fat cells in your body. THC is fat soluble. CBD is fat soluble. Every product, every component in commercial nicotine e-liquid is water soluble. You have to. There's a big difference between how our bodies store and use and process and then get rid of those two different things, whether it's water soluble or fat. Just to talk about drugs for a second, let's talk about two drugs. Let's talk about cannabis, talk about cocaine. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but these are both extracted chemicals. THC and CBD are extracted from the cannabis plant. Cocaine is extracted and refined from the coca plant. We're talking about two natural plants that grow, they go through an extraction process to end up with a final product. THC and CBD is fat soluble. If you're a smoker or you're a vapor of THC and CBD products, it attaches to the fat cells in your body, and you're talking about it not being out of your body for upwards of a month or more, depending on how much you use. Cocaine, being a water-soluble substance, is out of your system in a matter of days. Your kidneys process it, your liver processes it, and it flushes it out of your system. When we're talking about e-liquids, all those things in your commercial e are water-soluble. Those products are processed, those things are processed in your body, and they're flushed out very rapidly. There's a big difference there. So when you have synthetic cannabinoids attaching themselves to the receptors in your brain and they're stored in your fat, they can build up even more over time. So the more that you use those products, especially the fake ones, synthetic cannabinoids, you're running an even bigger risk of problems because they're not being removed from your body very quickly. There's just a little bit of chemistry and biology and science for you guys.
I'm actually glad you said that. I didn't know the distinction between.
That was quite the lesson right there. I feel my
I do what I can, guys. I try.
My knowledge has been expanded.
Oh yeah.
I want to know Metal Dad Vapes. I want to know what you think of the whole vaping industry, and as far as CBD and such, as far as kind of like what Grim Green was saying about them merging and they're already kind of together and whatnot. I want to know your thoughts on all of that kind of it. I know it's pretty broad, but I mean.
No, because I've seen it firsthand because I work in a shop, and the CBD kind of exploded. And it was, when I started working there, it was just, vapes, and that was it. And we had people coming in all the time, like, oh, you got any CBD? You got CBD stuff. And I think at the time all we had was like koi. And now we brought in a bunch of other like gummies and whatever. And I think it has its place. I was thinking about it when all this stuff started coming down about flavor bans and all that. CBD may actually replace, nicotine e-liquids. The way things are going, you know what I mean?
Good chance. There's a good
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, because I hadn't even thought about it myself because I live in Mass and we're having hearings on flavor bans and all that, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, Naked makes makes CBD. Worst comes to worst, I could
Because of
just
the farm bill, because of the farm, safe.
Mm.
Those CBD products are safe.
yeah.
Essentially, not completely safe, but much safer than the nicotine products are.
Right.
I've heard of the
I
farm bill, but I don't know like the, you know, the extension. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I don't know, you know, what I'm
Basically,
trying to say.
re-legalized. Essentially, so it re-legalized hemp and hemp products and CBD coming from hemp. Basically, makes CBD essentially safe on the market. Not safe to use because obviously make sure you're buying your CBD products from a quality authorized dealer and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But safe as far as them remaining on the market.
Yeah.
And I also think, going back to my original point, I think there's a fine line between that. I mean, if you're bringing in CBD just to kind of appease some customers, you're walking that line because then that's going to bring now we have glass pipes, we have packs, devices, dry herb, vapes, and all that stuff. And the more people come in because of that, they ask for more stuff. Now we have kratom, and now we have all this other stuff. So I think that we have
And
to
then
try
before
to
you know it, you're left with a tiny little section of nicotine e-liquid
exactly. Yep.
CBD.
So I think you have to kind of be very aware of where that line is and how far you want it to push into what you're already doing. Because I know my boss started his shop because his mother got lung cancer from smoking. I started working in the shop because I wanted to. It worked for me to stop smoking, and I was like, I need to get this out so more people can do this, so more people can stop smoking. I didn't get into this because I was like, yeah, I want to sell Naked 600 milligram Hawaiian Pog. I want to sell glass pipes and all this shit. Like I'll do it, and I do it every day, but I want people, when someone comes into the shop and they're like, I'm smoking a pack a day, I feel like shit, what do you have for me? And I'm like, yeah, come over here. And I'll explain to them nicotine and nic salts and the differences and, what do you want to carry? And, do you want an internal? Or I love that. I love that stuff. So I think in that aspect,
Now,
you have to
there's a question for you because when I was kind of right at the beginning of the salt boom. I mean, there were a few companies that were making salts before I started vaping, but they weren't huge yet, and the pod market was still kind of just really starting to broaden. When I started vaping, things like the Soarin' Drop had just come out. So it was the summer of 2017. Juul had been out for about 2 years, a year and a half or so. And then right around that time, the salt boom kind of started at the same time. Now, I hadn't used salts. I didn't use salts to quit. I used 18 milligram freebase to quit. How do you feel about the differences in salts and freebase and that whole just that whole discussion around salts and freebase? Where do you stand on it? Or is that what you recommend?
Traditional.
Traditional.
Is that what it's?
Freebase. That's science.
When I first started working in the shop, I never suggested salt mix or anybody. If someone came in and was like, "Hey, I want to stop smoking. My buddy has a Juul," I'd be like, "All right, we'll go. If that's what you want, we'll go over here." But I never suggested it to anybody. And then the holidays rolled around, and everyone gets stressed out whenever. And I will admit, I started smoking again. Not full time, but I bought a pack and I was smoking. I was dual usage or whatever, just to kind of to get through. And then I bought a fix because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was sneaking into the bathroom when my kids were there, and my daughter would be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why does it smell like that? It doesn't smell like your vape." And I was like, yeah. So I grabbed the fix, and it has more. You know, it's now when people come in and they want to stop, I ask them, you know, what is it you want to do? And someone that comes in and smokes 2 packs a day, I'll say, you know what, let's get you like a Novo and like a 50 milligram. I said, but you can come down from that. You know, and then they'll come back a couple weeks later and be like, I want something else.
At what point do you, when somebody is trying to come down, do you try to break them from salts into freebase? Is there a certain milligram that you go for?
What I usually try to do is if someone comes in and they're like, I have a 50 milligram salt and I want to come down from that, first of all, I ask them what device they have, if it can't handle regular juice, liquid, sorry. I got to break that habit, man. I do that all the time. I
do it still, too. It's okay.
We
just won't tell Nick. Don't tell Nick.
Just don't tell me.
I asked them, you know, what kind of device they're using the most. If someone says like a Nord or something with a coil, I'll be like, all right, let's go to a 12 or an 18 milligram regular nicotine and see how that works for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're using like a 0.6 or a 0.8 or something like that, mesh coil, an 18 or a 12 would be great.
Does the shop that you work have their own house line? Do you make liquids there?
We do not make liquid in house, but we do have our own line made in.
So it's made and manufactured in a laboratory else, and then you guys sell your own line.
By the way, what shop do you work at? Since we're talking about your shop and everything, feel free to shout it out, and if anyone's in the area.
It's Goodfella Vapor in Swansea, Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah. So hey, if anybody's around, go in there and see Metal Dead.
We have 3 locations. I'm usually at the Swansea store or the Somerset store. We also have another location in New Bedford for anyone that's familiar with Massachusetts at all.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anybody out there, anybody in the replay, if you Massachusetts, definitely go say hi to Jay and go check out those. Do the liquids that you guys sell your house lines, do you offer 18s and 12s in 50-50 blend?
It's 60-40, all
60-40.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think that's the shop that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
If anyone wants a higher milligram, I suggest our brand because they can use that. Like if they have a Novo or something, your 60-40 will be all right in that. So let's go to
60-40 runs pretty good. Once you get into the 65. 35 to 70 30s, that stuff.
Yeah,
it just doesn't wick as well in those little coil heads. The shop that helped me quit here in Batavia, New York, I've talked about them in the past. They still make their own in-house liquids. They're a very mom and pop, very small, just really humble little vape shop in town. And a lot of times when I'm bored or whatever, a lot of times when I'm down, I'll walk, but I'll end up spending an hour and a half in there, and I'll talk to people coming in. I'll chat with people kind of that are trying to smoke, and I'll help them as well, and it's just kind of one of those things, But one thing that I've tried to help a number of smokers with is, if they're using a refillable and they're trying to work their way down, I usually try to help somebody get down to around 20 milligram freebase, and then I usually suggest that they go to a 50-50-12. Because personally, I feel like that 20-25 salt nic is about the same throat hit as about a 12 milligram freebase. And I think a lot of smokers are still after that throat hit. They're not quite ready for like the smoothness or whatever of like a 3 milligram. A lot of them still want that throat hit. And even me, the salts that I use, I've never used salts over 20. 20s and 25s are as high as I'll go. I can't say that because I have used 50 in a couple of disposables, just because I've tried a few disposables. I reviewed Fog disposables a long time ago on an episode. But I like the 20 to 25 salts because it reminds me a lot of the 18 that I used to get off of cigarettes with. But I think that's a good point. Once you can get somebody down to like that 25, 20 in salts, get them right into that like 12 milligram freebase.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? And then go freebase from there.
A good selling point too is if you can get down to like a 6, your flavor options are immense.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another big selling point. Is getting somebody down to that point where you can get them into a sub-ohm and get them down to 6 and 3, because the whole market opens up to you.
Yep. In our shop, I think we have right now the largest selection of e-liquids in southeastern Mass. It's ridiculous the amount of flavors we have. And and I tell them, I'm like, you see all this wall? This
whole wall could be yours.
Exactly. This whole wall could be yours.
And it'll just cost you a 1 swipe.
I think one of the biggest selling points too for a lot of people that come into that still using a Juul is when I break down that cost, the cost of a Juul. You know, you get 4 pods for like $20, so you're spending $5 on 0.7 mils. You're spending $20 on 2.8 mils of liquid. And then you can show them a 60 ml bottle, and you're like, this is $20, and you're getting 60 mils compared to the 2.8 mils that you're buying there.
But if it gets them to that point, you know, of quitting and starting to get into like, you know, vaping itself, then absolutely, of course, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's plenty of flavors and there's plenty of better options as far as money goes. But, you know, if somebody's at a gas station and they're like, you know, I'm gonna pick up a Juul, of course, you know. You're gonna start somewhere, and then the doors are.
And I think that's one of the best things that Juul ever honestly did was they went right for the convenience stores.
Yeah.
I know that's a controversial thing, but there are more convenience stores that sell cigarettes in America than there are vape shops.
Yeah.
If you're a smoker, you're very familiar with pulling into a gas station, and getting your pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And right there sits the Juul. That is an extremely useful tool for getting people to quit.
And obviously, you know, vape shops are everywhere, but, you know, everybody goes and gets gas. So let's be honest. If you're smoking and you're on the line about, you know, getting in there, you go to fill up your gas and you see, well, now it's not just a whole wall of cigarettes. You know, now you got a choice. You know what I mean? Right. So
not only that too is that it doesn't matter where you are in the country. You know, when you smoke, you knew that if you go to that gas station, they were going to have Marlboros. They were going to have Newports. It's a little different in vaping, though, because I have a lot of people that come from, like, Rhode Island and different cities.
You don't have the lines that are there.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have this juice? And I'm like, honestly, I've never heard of that juice.
Yeah.
That liquid. I apologize. Liquid.
That's right.
That is kind of one of the pros
Drink up, buddy.
of the industry itself is... and it's a double-edged sword, the amount of liquid companies that are out there. I think that's in itself is a double-edged sword, because if you're somebody that this is your liquid, you vape, there are a lot of people out there that are one liquid kind. This is the liquid they vape. They every day, all day, that's it, period. And if they're out and about and say they're on vacation or something and they run out of liquid, that shop that they go to pick something else up, there's a good chance they probably won't have that liquid.
Right.
You know, unless you vape like Tasia or one of those brands that is in every vape shop.
Yep.
Naked. Yeah, there's a good chance that you know, and a lot of us will just settle on something similar, I think. But not everybody will. You know, that's one of those things, and it's a double-edged sword because there are tens of thousands of e-liquid manufacturers out there. There are tens of thousands at this point. And
I like what Desi said in the chat here. She said, "I won't shop anywhere except Goodfella. Everyone there is so helpful," which kind of brings me to like a point that I want to say.
That's my old lady.
All right, well,
I miss Metal Mom. How's it going?
to get to like the point that I want to make from that. You go into a vape shop, and I mean, I want to say 9 times out of 10, I've been to a few vape shops, and that's the thing is like everybody is so helpful. You don't walk in and people like what do you want? Like you go in there and like I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, people want to help you. They want to know. They it gets personal. You know what I mean? It's like these people want to help you. So it's like if you can get people to the point where they're going to vape shops and not just gas stations or whatever. They, like I'm saying, the doors just open right up as far as.
Well, yeah. Like when you go into a gas station, you gotta. One person maybe that whole day at that gas station is going to buy a vape.
Yeah.
Those people behind the counter are not experts. They don't know anything. They just know this is the jewel, this is how much it costs, and probably most of them know that they need to see your ID.
Yeah.
But that's it. There's no anything else. Explain to you how the product is used. They can't explain to you what's in it. They can't, nothing. But you walk into a vape shop, and these are people that are trained. They live and breathe this life every single day.
Yeah. The knowledge is there.
That's their focus. They're not selling Cheetos and Monster energy drinks and gasoline.
In most vape shops.
In most, yeah. Let's definitely point that out. Back to the 9 times out of 10 thing.
I will say there's actually another vape shop. I'm not going to name their name, but I walked in, one time, just once, and because they have a lot of clone, Max and clone atomizers. I bought a little Kennedy clone off of them. I know, you guys hate me. It's okay.
You could have left that part out, huh?
I know, but you know what? Honestly, I'm just.
Hey, it's all right.
It was $5. I was like, sure, I'll take that little Kennedy clone. Sure, we'll
and they knew nothing.
But either way, I'm talking to the kid behind the counter about some of these mechs and things like that. I'm taking them apart and I'm looking at them and I'm talking to this kid, and this guy, this probably 22-year-old kid behind the counter, literally could not talk to me about amp limits on batteries.
No clone right there.
He did not know. And it wasn't that he didn't want to talk to me. Flat out just told me, I don't know.
At least he's being honest about it.
Fucking dangerous thing, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's very bad.
You're here and you're willing to sell me these products that you don't know anything about. That's a dangerous thing. That's a dangerous game to play.
And on the other side of that coin, what you were saying, and I don't know if we're pressed for time or whatever, but on the other side of that coin, I have customers that come in and their batteries are torn to shit. I had one dude that had aluminum foil in his contacts to get a connection. And I was like, dude, don't turn that on in here. Like, do not turn that. Don't vape on that. Don't touch that. Leave that alone. You need a new model. And that's the thing, too, is because when I tell people, when people buy stuff and they're like, oh, batteries and this and that, and I'd be like, you should get an external charger to charge your batteries. Don't charge them in your mom. They look at me like I'm trying to bilk them out of more money.
Yeah.
When in reality, I know what can happen if you're not doing things properly.
So yeah, I think the external charger, good quality internal balanced charging. Mods years ago didn't have good balanced charging, so when you plugged in your USB and you charged your batteries internally, they would charge one battery more than the other, and then you get all sorts of problems down the road from that. That's kind of alleviated itself. I think the biggest reason nowadays to have an external charger is that it forces you to take your batteries out of your mod to inspect them. It forces you to look at the condition of the batteries. I think that's the biggest thing for me, because nowadays, as far as safety is concerned, as far as internal charging and balanced charging, most, not all, most mods today are very efficient at. Like if you were to go buy a brand new, what's a new dual battery regulated out right now? What's that one, Tony?
The Vaporesso Gen, dude. That's a newer one.
The Vaporesso Gen. Take that for example. I'm 100% confident right now that you could plug that in just fine.
Yeah, Raging Vapor pointed out, which is something I've been noticing too, is he's saying that you're cutting out a little bit, Logan. I don't know if it's the mic or the connection, like if the mic's too far away, but yeah, you are cutting out periodically. But Yeah, like right now. That whole thing.
I'm just fucking with you guys.
Oh man, that was good. I was literally like right now. Oh, that was good.
Either I've had too many IPAs or Logan's fucking with me. I don't.
But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing about external is the fact that it condition of your batteries by taking.
Which is something we mention on like every show.
Sword there, because with those spring-loaded things, those spring-loaded contacts on a lot of chargers, I've actually nicked battery wraps.
Yeah, like putting them in,
popping them out of there.
Yeah.
Had that happen too. So I think there's a little bit of a double, but I'm still much more comfortable knowing I'm taking my batteries out, I'm putting them in a dedicated charger. This charger doesn't handle variable wattage, it doesn't do all of these other things. That chipset is literally designed to do one thing and one thing only, and that is properly charge my batteries. I still feel more comfortable doing that than plugging a mod in. But if you do have a current or newer mod, in a pinch, all you can do is plug that thing in with a USB cord. Do it.
And that's what I tell people. If you're in a pinch, plug it in. But other than that, take the batteries out, put them in the charger.
It's a convenience factor, If you're out or if you're whatever, if you're on a little weekend getaway and that's what you got and you have a charger with you, like that's the idea of it. But Right. So if you guys are good on that, we always touch on some safety here. I love it. We tend to touch on battery safety like every week. I feel like we have a little something to say about it. Can't spread enough safety as far as batteries and whatnot goes. I think we can get into what I have
little tubes of volatile energy.
Yeah,
you gotta know your stuff, man.
Yeah, we can get into the few articles that we have, and then we'll get into the giveaway. Don't worry, we are giving it away. We want to keep you waiting. We want to build the hype for the dead goat combo with the coiled turd coils. So.
All I want is the coil turd coil.
Yeah, we need some.
Can I get in on that too?
Yeah, you can. Just getting it on the chat. Sorry, everyone. Metal Dad Vapes won. So I'm gonna.
Our viewer. They were like, nope. Never mind.
We said he was a special guest, didn't we? Yeah, he won. That's it.
Very special.
I'm gonna drop the link right now in the chat here to the first. Topic that we're gonna do. We have 3. We'll see if we get to the third. Maybe we'll just do 2. We're already over an hour here. So the first one is I don't have the exact date on when this came out. It was this week. Anything that we talk about on a Saturday is usually this week, or it's within the last week from our previous show. So it's Trump donates $100,000 to the Office of the Surgeon General to fund his upcoming public health advisory. I don't have the exact date on the public health advisory or if that already happened. So I dropped the link there. Vapun. I always stick to Vaping or Vaping 360, Vape News, one of those. So yeah, he donated $100,000 of his own second quarter salary. White House officials are declining to speak in regards to the subject. So if you're unfamiliar, basically. And correct me if I'm wrong, Logan or Metal Dad, if you guys looked into it at all, but Trump has been donating a portion of his salary to different sections of government throughout each quarter. He's cut a check to the Department of Agriculture, the Office of the Surgeon General. This was an article by Angela Garrity. I do have the article date on here. It was 8/16, so it looks like we are almost a week out from that or something right around there. So it's his third salary donation by Trump to the Department of Health and Human Services as part of his pledge to not accept a salary. Like I said, he's been given his salary per quarter to different areas of government. Like I said, the Department of Agriculture and then the Office of the Surgeon General. So that's the topic. You guys had the link. I'm sure you guys looked at it. So I guess we'll start with Metal Dad. What are your thoughts? Feel free to get ranty. I can see the look on your face. I know you want to rage. Let a little out. We're here for it. Look at Logan. He's like, I don't have to rant this week. Let's go.
I give you the floor. I'm just giving you the floor, man.
So, again, in all transparency, I am not a Trump guy.
Okay.
At all. And anyone can come to me and say, well, he's done A, B, and C. No. Pardon my language, fuck that guy. Like, just
Real
I hold
Street.
no judgments, man.
Hashtag Real Street.
everything he does is to get his name published somewhere. So I think this has nothing to do with trying to help anybody but himself. Because I don't think that guy even knows what it means to help other people. As far as what he was donating, I didn't really read the article because, again, anything with Trump, I kind of just glance over.
That's all right.
So what exactly was he donating?
So he donated a portion of his quarterly salary to the office.
$100,000. Surgeon General.
Yeah.
Our good friend Jerome Adams.
But it wasn't. There was no.
And I don't know if anybody could pick up on this. Our
I got it.
friend.
I got it.
Okay, I'm just making sure that that's clear.
Wait, you mean you don't like him?
I have a lot to say it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen me on Twitter.
Hey, don't worry. He's only worried about getting verified.
I am definitely. Oh my god, dude, this fucking guy.
There was nothing that said what that money was to go towards, though, right?
It's for like awareness campaigns.
Yeah.
Drug awareness, and vaping and nicotine all falls.
Drug awareness
category.
I know we gave the floor to you. But drug awareness, I want to point out what Texas Cloud Town said too. Like, I'm with that. Like, drug awareness, yeah, sure, but vaping awareness, we all know where that's going to go with Jerome Adams.
Right.
If it was quality information and awareness, please give all the money.
Oh yeah.
Adams was being honest and open and giving real information to the public. Yeah, sure. There's the kicker, though.
How many tobacco companies does he have stock in, Logan?
He divested in 5 major tobacco companies: Altria, Philip Morris, British American Tobacco.
Yeah. So now we know.
R.J. Reynolds, and I don't remember the pinky.
So now we know where the vaping awareness is going to lead as far as that $100,000 goes.
Right.
So.
And then not only that, but the whole China and tariff bullshit that he's doing. Except for my Kennedy and my Juggernaut, everything I have vaping-wise is from China.
Yeah.
And everything...
That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand the difference between taxes and tariffs. And tariffs essentially become taxes on the consumer.
Right.
They are not direct taxes on the consumer, but they basically end up, in turn, raising the cost of the products that we buy here. So it's not essentially a tax, but it will increase the cost.
Right.
Plain and simple. If American companies are forced to pay more on the import products that they're selling here, they will inevitably they will sell it for more in order to keep their profit margins where they're at.
Right. So I mean, without him actually coming out and saying it, we can surmise from all of this where Trump stands on vaping. I don't even think we're on his radar. I don't think he could care less.
Oh, he wants $100 million from the vapor industry. I don't know if other people missed that. This was announced that he does want $1 from the vapor industry. And then I heard nothing else about it.
A quick quote.
He said it. That was it, and then there was nothing else done, so I don't know where it stands as far as how that's going to pan out, or if it's just another Trump thing that he says, and then it's dust in the wind and whatever. But that statement was made.
Yeah.
Hey, if that's all it's going to cost to keep vaping alive, I'll pitch. I'll pitch in to do it.
I mean, $100 million across the board, across every, vapor company in America, when you break it down, is not that much.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't know. It's
like every company in America pay $1,000. Here's the check. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's all about money. That's what infuriates me about all of this. Is it all boils down to money, and it's not like it's a secret.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? NSA payments and tobacco bonds. It's not a secret. And I get so infuriated when I see that Erin, whatever her name is, from New York City Kids.
Mills, right? Is that
Oh,
her name?
the lady whose husband used to.
Yes.
She what did he do? He basically worked for basically like PR for tobacco companies.
Yeah.
But
He was like, yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah. And it just infuriates me that you don't see through this bullshit. Like, you don't see what is going on. Like, has nothing to do with teens vaping. This has nothing to do with keeping people healthy. Has nothing to do with any of that. It boils down to money. And it's just so infuriating that, no one, I mean, I call these people out all the time, but I'm a nobody. And, and I don't know if you ever get this, Logan or Matt, but when you're commenting against like these things, these articles that you're seeing, does anyone ask you if you work in the vapor industry?
Of course not.
I've gotten that once or twice, and usually when I respond with no, I don't work in the vapor industry. I receive no funding from the vapor industry. This is me supporting the industry that saved my own. They say nothing else. It's crickets.
If you even get that question.
Because they expect that. They expect you to be like, oh, well, I work for so-and-so. And then they'll be like, oh, so you're just a big vape shill. And this term big vape drives me nuts as well.
It's ridiculous. And it's like, if you took the 5 to 10 minutes it takes me to tell you my story, you would understand why I'm so passionate about this. You would understand why I started working in a vape shop. I mean, I'm not making, millions of dollars doing this.
No.
You know what I mean? I work 40, 50 hours a week, whatever it is, and I would say 60% of my job deals with things that aren't vaping and related. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like shop upkeep and stocking and all this stuff, and it's like, I got into where I'm at because I wanted to help people stop smoking.
And I'll be real honest with you, the only reason...
Oh, Logan just froze. Oh, did I lose both of you guys? Wow.
I do.
Okay.
Like, I would not make enough money to support my family, essentially. Right. My girlfriend only works 18 hours a week, and that's not her fault. That's because right now it's summer, and through the summers, like, we don't have reliable care, so my girlfriend has to drop her hours down. My family relies very, very, very heavily on my paycheck. Yeah, and I make good money doing what I do. That's the only reason. And I'm not knocking my girlfriend. She's an absolutely incredible human being and everything that she does for our family. But if she did make enough money to balance that, I would 100% be working in a vape shop. Which is why when I go down there, I stay there for an hour. I talk to new smokers that are in there, and I still try to do my part. Unfortunately, I just can't. I can't work there because it's a financial thing.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that holds me back from working at a vape shop.
And seeing what you do on Instagram and Twitter, I don't think anybody would ever knock you for, well, why don't you get a job in a vape shop then? I don't think anyone would ever say that to you.
No, and I basically part-time down at the vape shop.
Yeah.
For free. Yeah.
It just really comes down to the money that I make at my job is what supports my family. So I financially it would be, I can't put my family on the back burner, kids on the back burner. They have to come first. That's my family, and I think most people respect that. But otherwise, if the vape shop in town was like, yeah, hey, heartbeat, when I quit my job, I'd leave because I live literally 2 blocks away. Like, I wouldn't even have to drive. I'm 2 blocks from my vape shop, so I'll hop on my longboard a lot of days and just ride on down there, hang out for a while. It's cool, it's fine, and it gets me out of the house for a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. I commend anybody that shop because people that work in vape shops are on the front lines of all of this.
So,
You know, we-
as far as our
we
little Trump thing, I know Logan, I know you've been chiming in. I want to hear your full, well, I should say Metal Dad will hear. I got to use the bathroom real quick, but I want to hear your side. I'll let Metal Dad get me back on track after, but I just want to hear your full thing on the whole Trump donates, and I'll be right back.
I think Jay covered it pretty well. I think Trump's just doing it as a, look at what I'm doing, you know what I mean, and giving his salary away, because his presidential salary is pennies on what this guy has. So giving his presidential salary away to things is literally just a look at me and look at what I'm doing. And it's strictly for him. It's not for any industry. It's not for public health. It's not for whatever. It's a completely self-satisfying thing. And then when we're giving it to, you want to start about this fucking dickwad, but I'm not gonna just do that. God, we're talking. No, I'm not gonna do it. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. If you really want to know my opinion, follow me on Twitter, because I ride this guy's case all the time, because I just believe that the American people deserve better. I truly believe that the American people deserve a Surgeon General that actually cares about them and not just pharma money. That's my hot take on all of it. The money from Trump is just a look at me and look at what I'm doing.
Right.
And the Surgeon General he's just a pharma shill. That's all this guy is. That's all he cares about is big pharma and big pharma only. That's it. That's all he cares about. And he is the first one to share every single article that comes out about the harms and the problems with vaping and all of this. He's the first one to share it. And that's it. That's it. That's how I have nothing else to say about it. I just think that
I don't know if either of you have any input on this, but are lungs in Britain different than lungs in the United States?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I like what he said. He said our if I heard him correctly, which I think you may have broke up a little bit, but I'm pretty sure he said our lungs different in would you say Britain rather than the U.S. Yeah, I like the point that you bring up, which is they're
different species of human in the UK.
Yeah.
See, their lungs have a special lining.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a special Kevlar lining in there.
Yeah.
So it's not affected. Right, obviously.
Of course.
It all makes sense now. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's a whole different species.
They must have that same lining in like New Zealand and all in that area too.
It's weird. The lining is in certain places, but then in the U.S., it's like we don't even know about the lining that's going on elsewhere. We're just kind of...
Right. And that lining, that Kevlar lining, don't have it. It comes right on that lining in their lungs.
Yeah.
There's a little tag.
So, my wife, he said Raging Vapor said I can confirm my wife is British. All right, well, glad we got a confirmation.
She's fine.
Yeah, she's
fine. She won't have any. She won't have any blebs. She won't have any. Me and Matt talked about the bleb.
The blebs
last week.
Yeah.
She won't have any blebs. She won't have any. Have you guys heard about caked VG?
The caked VG.
VG being caked in
the lungs were
lungs.
Caked with VG.
Oh yeah, I did hear
in
that.
VG.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
God, that's for another show, Logan. But so we're getting pretty lengthy here. It looks like we've been going at it now about an hour and 20 minutes. So I think I want to skip the last two topics I had. We'll get to the giveaway and we'll wrap it up. What do you guys think? I think that's where
Matt,
we're getting there.
Away. Tell us how we're doing the giveaway.
So now this is kind of wild. The giveaway last time was kind of weird.
I think Matt just pointed at something. He just closed his eyes and threw a dart at his computer screen, and wherever it landed,
I punched it, and wherever the crack was, whoever's name it landed on, that's how I chose. So what we're gonna do is the goat with the dead goat combo kit. We're gonna do a number between 1 through 50, everybody who's interested in this giveaway, the rules that apply. You just have to be 21. I'm just gonna ask for $2 through PayPal. You'll send me a picture of your ID DM on Instagram, even if you look like you're 60. That doesn't matter. I need to be positive. And yeah, so number 1 through 50, I'm going to do a random number generator. Hopefully 2 people don't have the same number. If 2 people do have the same number, I will have my girlfriend get a coin, and I will flip a coin, and we'll say heads for somebody, tails for somebody else. We'll let these 2 guys choose that, if that's the...
I think that they should play virtual rock, paper, scissors.
If Raging Vapor doesn't win this giveaway, I'm going to be disappointed. He has been wanting this.
He's been wanting it. Okay, so everybody, if you're interested in the dead goat combo kit with the coil turd, what are these? These are tri-core aliens, 0.09 to 0.11.
That comes with the regular goat as well, Matt.
No, not with the regular goat. The regular goat, I'm not sure. There's 2 coil heads that are in here.
I mean the giveaway is the entire.
Oh yeah, it's this whole it's the
goat.
Yeah.
And dead goat.
Yeah. And the dead goat. And the set of coil turd aliens. Yep. It's the whole.
Yeah,
the
that's
real deal.
One hell of a giveaway. Guys.
Yeah, it's a nice ass giveaway. Yeah.
It's a nice thing for you.
Can you change the coils in the goat?
With the dead goat. And they're upgraded, yeah. That's why
there are two for the regular goat. There is a 22 millimeter and a not millimeter 22 gauge and a 24 gauge goat head.
Oh, I love it.
I can't remember the ohms that they come out at. It's like a 0.12 and a 0.14 or a 0.1.
Oh, you're talking about the original, the ones that come with it. It's a 0.13 and a 0.19, so it's 22 gauge on the 0.13 and 24 gauge on the 0.19. Those are just a round wire with all the cotton.
Anarchist.
Right up.
Anarchist.
Anarchist. Yeah, I gotta point that out. So it looks like we got a couple people.
Those are good goat heads. Those goat heads. My girlfriend ran the goat for a long time. And those goat heads, you can re-wick and re-wick and re-wick. Dude, those goat heads last like 6 months.
Yeah, it's looking, Raging Vapor should be pretty happy. The odds are looking pretty good. I mean, unless my little YouTube page is lying to me. I'm saying we got 14 people watching, and I'm only seeing, 4 people? And it looks like Texas Cloud Town, he doesn't even want it, but he threw a number. So it's like... We got 4 people throwing numbers out of 15. I'm hoping to see a little more. I'm gonna wait. I'm hoping to see a little more before I throw in the random number generator. Probably should have did like 20 instead of 50. But
So I have a vape question for you guys. Like, how often do you change your coils and throw them out? Like when you build in an RDA?
So it'll depend. One on the coil. I rock blues coils.
Saddle horse
coils
blues
are a little bit pricey. But they're really well made. They last months on end. I'm also pretty big on regularly re-wicking and cleaning my coils.
Right.
So I've had this set of aliens from Saddle Horse Blues and this goon now for about a month and a half. They are still pristine. So it varies. I can go months on end, and it also depends on the liquid too, because some liquids will just thrash coils and you can only clean them up so many times. So it varies though.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Texas Cloud Town. I've been rocking these. I want to say, God, I don't know if Texas Cloud Town another Jay. We got 2 J's in here. If Jay remembers when he sent me these, I want to say, God, it must be like 3 weeks ago or almost a month now. I have re-wicked, but they're still going strong in the Turk V2. But besides that, I usually rock Twisted Timmy's coils, but I'm always bounce around devices, kind of like what Logan said. I re-wick and everything. Yeah, so.
Yeah, because I re-wick all my stuff. I try to do every week. Sometimes I'll let it go to about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I rock coils for a month. I have a set of Purge staged aliens in here. I've had these in here since NVE in Connecticut.
Oh, wow. Are you kidding?
Yeah. And they're rocking, man.
All right,
it all comes down to you get what you pay for,
I want to give another minute for everybody to throw their number. I'm seeing 14 people. Like I said, we only have 4 I'm gonna do another minute, and then I'm just gonna draw a number. And these guys the odds are looking real good for everybody who's thrown a number.
Are we doing Prices Right rules? Closest without going over?
Closest without going over. We'll see. We'll see.
So a little bit about Prices Right rules. Shop always play the Prices Right. Basically, I'll guess like as they're ringing it up, that's what the total's gonna be, and she will too.
Oh,
and then
okay.
And then whoever loses has to carry in the heavy stuff.
Oh wow. Okay.
I like that game. I'm gonna start doing that.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I can't do that
game.
game.
Though, I end up breaking.
When I'm shopping, I do that in my head anyway.
Yeah.
Like I put it on the carriage. I'm like, oh, $3.50. I'm like, that's gonna be $4, and then I go through and I'm like, all right, I got enough money for all this.
See, here's the problem. If you're rounding up, you're gonna end up over.
Yeah.
That's true.
So round down.
I always round up, so I have enough money.
Right.
In order to play that game and win, I'd have to be like, all right, I gotta come down a little bit.
You gotta round down because you can't go over.
Hey, she said she's not. Jay, she said she's not playing that game in the chat. She's not interested. You're stuck carrying the. You're stuck carrying the heavy stuff, Jay.
For the kids. Let the kids carry in the heavy
Yeah, there you go.
See, builds character.
All right, I think we've waited
And
long
muscles.
enough. We're gonna do the. We're gonna draw the number here. Let's see. We're doing 0 to 50. By the way, if anybody's got a better way to do giveaways, feel free. You can email me at mrmatt978@gmail.com.
What I think we should start doing, Matt, is holding stream, but like where we sell tickets to, and then what we do is we put the giveaway item, shirt gun, and we launch them into the audience. Just start shooting RDAs into the audience. Mech mods out of it.
Well, the funny thing is, right, so the funny thing, Jay, right, so if you've watched my YouTube at all, I do vape box, but I try and stay on top. I try and buy like the latest RDAs and stuff like that just because I'm interested, and the reviewing of products has really fallen off, and I'm not as active as Logan on Twitter, but believe me when I tell you, I see what goes on Twitter, so I sometimes I can't respond, or either I don't have the knowledge or whatever it may be, but I see everything that's going on, so I've really fallen off as far as reviews, but I tend to buy some of the newest stuff that's out, and then when I get my vape box monthly, I get like the newest RDA. Like this is a stainless steel Passage. I have a blue one over there. Not that long ago, must have been 2 live streams ago or 3 now, I gave away a Recurve Dual in another color. I have the black one. I think I gave away, I don't know what color it was.
That's the thing about vape boxes, they just kind of...
But that's good. That is great on them that they stay right on top of it. So, all right, random number. Here we go. If you guys can see that, 40, not 4, 40. So whoever is the closest to 40
Paul Turgeon had 37.
Yeah, 37. The closest number without going over. Your buddy Paul, is that your buddy Paul, Jay?
It is. He is actually my editor for my YouTube videos.
Okay.
Really sorry, Raging Vape.
Oh,
Don't
man,
worry,
I feel
this is
so
not-
bad.
Giveaway. There will be more.
Oh, there will be more.
There will be more. So you will have more chances to win.
Because he's connected to me, does that wipe him off?
No.
No,
I don't. I'm not. I don't want to get all fine print. I actually regret that you said that.
Congratulations to Paul. He won.
So, Paul, all I'm going to ask, I don't know if you're 30, 40. Paul cheated. She said Paul cheated. What was Paul's number again? Rage and Vapor was really leaning on that, the solution to the universe, or, the answer to the universe, 42.
Yeah, it really is. It really is the answer to the universe and all. How long did it take that space computer to come up with that? Like 6,000 years or something like that?
Oh,
You guys don't know what we're talking about. It's in reference to the galaxy.
Oh, hey, Texas Cloudtown Jay said he'll pay for you to burn that hat. And if I remember, I don't know if he's here now, Vapor Swaggins, he said go Bills in the beginning. We were having such a heated discussion.
I wasn't going to respond.
You weren't going to comment on that.
Jay, for $500, I will burn this hat.
Oh, man.
$500.
I'd almost pay to see that still, even at that.
Because at the end of the day, with $500, go buy 10 more.
Go by. and then add a couple zeros and you'll burn all those. So
There's Beck.
just-
Everybody say hi to Beck.
hi Becky.
Check out her sweet pants.
I know.
Her Galaxy.
I haven't worn these in like a year.
And she lifts up her
Speaking
like,
speaking
Space Pant.
speaking of the universe, she's got it all over. So real quick, Paul Turgeon. Sorry, I don't know if I just butchered your last name. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely follow me on Instagram. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Just gotta throw out that, of course. Yeah, you don't have to do that. Just DM me on Instagram. I'm just gonna ask you for a picture of your photo ID that has your birth date, and we'll go through PayPal. $2. Give me your address, and then we'll get this shipped out to you as soon as I can. It'll definitely be before the end of the week. Luckily, I work second shift, so I don't go in until 2 o'clock every day, so I do have time in the morning to get to the post office and get that shipped out to you. And if you live in Mass, if you're a buddy of Jay, I don't know if you live in Mass but if you do, I'm in New Hampshire. And the last time I did a giveaway, I want to say it was to Ricky Mahoney. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. But the last person that we did a giveaway for, he lived in Hollis, not too far away in Mass. He had it in a day. So, yeah. So there you go. Dead goat.
You know, real quick, you know what's funny? When I started vaping, we were already doing the horror show, and he was one of the guys that used to make fun of me. for
Really?
vaping. And he was the first of all my friends to convert to vaping.
Well,
So
I remember back in like 2013. I can remember seeing. This is a few years after I had tried quit. It was around the time that the "Do you even vape, bro?" thing kind of got started, and I remember like seeing groups of people, out vaping, and I would just be like, "Oh, you even vape, bro?" Like I was totally one of those guys. Like, didn't understand. Thought it was just like a fad. I didn't understand the health implications and things like that at the time. So,
And
it happens.
Ricky in the chat. Ricky is right. I do have the fastest shipping, and yeah. So.
He actually will drive it to your house.
Oh, I will.
Tonight.
Oh, I will. As fast as I can get there.
Nice.
The sooner you get me the info.
I think Matt's next investment is, and he'll just airdrop it to you.
Yeah, airdrop it. Yeah, I'll fly right over and airdrop it.
Be like a FedEx drone delivery.
Raging Vapor, don't you worry. You will have your chance again. I don't know. I can't tell you how soon, but you will have your chance again.
Raging Vapor, if it makes you feel any better, of Grim Green, and he does giveaways on Instagram, on his private Instagram every week, and he plays trivia. Okay, so if you get it right, then you win. But the way that he sees the Instagram chat is different than how we do, depending on your internet connection and where you're at and whatever. And I'm on the East Coast, he's on the West Coast. Even on my end, when I answer the trivia question correct and I'm first, I'm always last. I'm always the last one that he sees. So you have a better chance here than you do winning a giveaway.
At first, I was kind of insulted with the whole trivia. It makes me seem my way is whack. But yeah, your chances are better here, buddy. I mean, you had
Your
5
chances
people.
are way better here.
5 people.
It's
jeez.
terrible.
So we'll wait for Metal Dad to get back, and we'll wrap it up. I think this has been great. I know we didn't get to all the topics, which is fine because this show is about our guest, Metal Dad Vapes Jay. I want to huge thank you, and I didn't do this this little shout out halfway through the show. But if you're enjoying this as we get towards our end here, please smash that like button, like that smash button.
Like that smash button.
Whatever that is, feel free to press that. Yeah, so we'll wait for Jay to get back and we'll wrap it up. But congrats to Paul Turgeon. And,
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. We're just wrapping up here. So as far as kind of what we've been doing, I think, Logan, final thoughts, topics, whatever, final shout-outs, shameless, all that good stuff. Feel free.
You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter. You can check me out on Patreon. You can, if you're interested in merch, you can go on Teespring, and you can join our Discord. Yeah, I've got
the black one's back there. You can see it. You can see the red on it. It's like right there. Merch. The cups,
you
the coffee.
Do all that if you want to. You can do all that if you want to, and I definitely appreciate it. But I think what I want to leave everybody with is if you're not a member of an advocacy group like CASA, please go join an advocacy group. Most every state has their own advocacy groups as well. Get involved. If you are already involved, please stay involved. I know that the task of advocating for this industry can be daunting, but please don't give up. Everybody is relying on all of us. There are no superheroes here. We are all everybody's heroes, and we can all have a voice, and we all matter in this fight. So be involved, stay involved, and that's it, man. Keep it cloudy, everybody. So I will pass the torch over to Matt, and he can do his farewell, and then we'll...
Definitely want to throw in a little something that Logan didn't mention, our Discord. I should say his. Sorry.
I thought I said the Discord.
Did you?
I thought I said the Discord.
If I may have
Anyway,
spaced
if you're
out.
interested in joining the Discord, just DM me, and we'll get you a link.
Awesome place. I know we got a few people. I know Raging Vapor for sure. I didn't notice if anybody else from the Discord was in here. Obviously Metal Dead, of course. But yeah, so I don't have the banners running, but I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow me. It should just be that guy Matt. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I usually do at least a video a week besides this show. Cheers to everybody. Like Logan was saying, educate, advocate, all that good stuff. A lot of people say it's shit mountain, but we're going at it every day, and that's all we can do. And the more people that we have,
it's better to go up shit mountain together.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Patreon as well if anybody's interested in that. All the links to all that are in the description. I have all the I have CASA and all those great advocacy groups and everything in the should be in the description of this. If not, I'll make sure I post it. You can check out all that. And I'm gonna hand it off to Metal Dad Vapes. Where can these people find you? Where are you at? And all that good stuff.
I am on Instagram. I haven't been on in a while, but I'm on Instagram, Twitter, which I'm active on currently all the time. YouTube, I do reviews, I do whatever. I want to try to change up a little bit because I feel like I'm kind of falling into that. Oh, we're doing this device, and then the down low, and then here's my thoughts. So I want to kind of
abandoned reviews months ago, man. And it's not for a lack of trying. It's just simply because my focus changed. I just wasn't. Reviews were kind of like here or there. There's some out there, and I was like, you know what? I need to be more into advocacy than the shiny new product. I still respect everybody that does review. I feel like without advocacy, there is no shiny new product.
It doesn't matter, right? Exactly.
So,
you don't advocate, there's not going to be another new RDA to showcase.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Definitely need more.
on all of those platforms, just search Metal Dad Vapes and you'll find me. And to piggyback off of what Logan and Matt said, you have to make your voice be heard.
Shane Oakley right there, if he's still here. Shane Oakley, that is just the biggest thing right there. It's let your voice be heard, and that is an awesome point to make every day. It's all we can do.
Don't be afraid to email your reps or call them on the phone.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody and just let them know. And, the same thing goes when anytime you see an article on Facebook or Twitter that's saying, this kid died from vaping, whatever, just make them know that's not what happened. Let everyone know that, it's not these that are killing people. Fuck it. The other shit.
Yeah. It's all the garbage, man.
Yeah.
So.
And my last word is going to be vape on.
Vape on. I like it. Yeah. So once again, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. Thank you, Metal Dad, for joining us. Much appreciated for sure.
Thank you for having me.
It was awesome. Thanks again, everybody into the chat. Congrats to Paul Turgeon one more time. Sorry to rub that in, Raging Vapor. I think he already left. He was like, I'm going in the voice chat. If you're here from Discord, I don't know, Logan, if you have time, but I'll be in the Discord in our voice chat for a little bit, 15, 20 minutes maybe. But
I probably won't be tonight.
Yeah, that's all right.
Late.
Yeah, I hear you. This one went on. So thanks everybody for coming out, and as Metal Dad said, and as everybody says, just vape on. That's all we can keep doing, guys.